That was all you doing this. No. I promise. I'm not in training. I don't gotta keep doing all the while.
He's pacing at his own pace anyway. It ain't a fast pace.
Boxing, he's definitely talented. You know what I mean? And he's definitely got that it. And yeah, he's definitely respected in boxing. But Shakur is a different fighter.
Terence Crawford walks into Shakur Stevenson's camp like a quiet storm and delivers razor-sharp wisdom, showing smart angles, steady defense, and perfectly timed counters to mentally break Teofimo Lopez, stay 2 steps ahead, and take control of every single round with unshakable confidence.
Yeah. Go. I want you to pull. Good. Good. Stay in your rhythm, champ. Stay in your rhythm. Your rhythm, your time, your fight. Let's go.
You trying hard? Good drive. This effort. Cool. You want to work this nigga?
Shakur Stevenson pushes through intense drills and sharpens speed, timing, and defense for the Teofimo Lopez clash, while Terence Crawford watches carefully, studying each move like a chess master, already planning smarter strategies inside camp before the real war begins.
Yeah, that's the second time that happened to you. Yeah. And I ain't even touch your body. Yeah.
Shakur's coach says he fears nobody, stepping in like a man who welcomes the danger, accepts every single challenge, and stays mentally ready to fight absolutely everyone, no matter the name, the moment, or the pressure.
Best of the best of the best! That go for everybody! For everybody! That go for everybody! I don't put him at the pound for pound over everybody! Now you figure out whoever you think the best, he the best.
Terence stands inside Shakur's camp, offering brotherly advice, sharing hard-earned experience, guiding the strategy, and motivating him with calm, confident leadership that steadies everything.
People that know it all are the people that don't go very far. You gotta always be a student. You gotta always be able to learn and pick up things from this person, that person.
He's a work of art. The sky is the limit with Shakur. He got the boxing skills and the ability to, do whatever he wants in the ring. And it's gonna be very hard to beat Shakur, with the skills that he possesses and the smarts.
Terence Crawford applauds Shakur Stevenson, highlighting his rare skills and razor-sharp ring intelligence, admitting that some people label Shakur boring, yet only a few truly understand and appreciate his deeper talent, smart strategy, quiet dominance, and complete mastery every time he steps into a fight.
When did that?
I got Shakur.
Are you saying that because that's your man and you don't like taking?
In Shakur Stevenson's camp, Terence Crawford teaches him a wide range of techniques, quietly stressing the deeper value of learning different tricks from every single fighter, because each style hides a lesson that can change everything.
A black kind of thing, like, like it's like, like when you go to cookouts and all your family be sitting there playing spades and like our type culture, I guess. We whooping their ass in spades, but they up.
Sean Porter looks at the upcoming fight between Shakur Stevenson and Teofimo Lopez and sees a moment that feels almost written in the stars for Shakur to take control, describing it as a matchup that is truly Stevenson's fight to lose, explaining that if Shakur shows up at his absolute highest level, he has the tools to dictate the rhythm, the pace, and ultimately the final outcome of the night. And while Porter openly respects the unpredictable nature of boxing, where anything can happen in a single second, he still emphasizes that Stevenson's skill set, discipline, and preparation give him a clear and meaningful advantage, adding that he feels optimistic this fight could be both highly entertaining and deeply important for the sport itself, potentially setting the tone for the entire year with a strong statement. And as he reflects personally on the previous year, Porter admits it felt like boxing was left with unfinished business and unresolved storylines, moments that never truly reached closure, which he hopes this fight can finally help correct. And overall, he expresses genuine respect for both fighters while subtly placing the responsibility on Stevenson to execute his plan, stay locked in mentally, and seize the opportunity that stands in front of him in what he sees as a rare and significant moment for boxing history.
In some other ways it could go, but a lot of people think it's going to be, it could possibly be boring. I don't think it's going to be a boring fight. I think Teo knows he has to step up. I think this is his fight. I think it's Shakur's fight to lose, and what I mean by that is if Shakur doesn't operate, if Shakur is caught sleeping, something bad could happen. It's his fight to lose, but I think it's also Teo's fight to win. And what I mean by that is if Teo performs the way that he can perform, and I know that's like an empty message, but
we never know.
All that said, like, it could actually be a really great fight. I expect a great fight.
And I hope this fight, I'm gonna let you go last because I respect you. Every time I'm in an argument, we talked about what we talked about for the show. We always disagreement. I said, well, I call Sean Zartel right now and eat your ass up. But I ain't want that. But I hope Teo and Shakur starts the year off big and actually builds the sport of boxing for have a great year. I felt like I was let down last year in sport of boxing. I don't know how y'all felt. I just felt like we had a lot of open stuff that didn't.
Tim Bradley explains that in boxing the most direct path is not always the quickest or the most effective, and he paints a picture where facing an opponent who lives on the center line and controls distance changes everything, because a straight punch might look fast on the surface, but it is not always the smartest choice. And Bradley warns that many fighters fall into the trap of believing the shortest route to the target is automatically the most efficient weapon, even though this is one of the most common misconceptions in the sport. And that is where he highlights the hook as a more intelligent and strategic option, describing how it briefly flashes into the opponent's line of vision, vanishes for a split second, and then suddenly reappears, letting it reach the target faster than a straight punch in certain moments. And more importantly, Bradley points to the left hook as a potentially dangerous weapon Shakur Stevenson must stay alert for, emphasizing how hooks are built to exploit tiny openings and catch fighters completely off guard, proving that in the end timing and angle can matter just as much, if not more, than pure speed.
Again, sometimes the closest route isn't always the fastest route. You got a guy that likes to stay on the center line, a guy that's a master at controlling range, okay? So many people fall into the understanding that because the straighter punch can get there, they believe faster, it's the shorter route to the target, that's the best and most effective weapon. No, it's not. It's not. So the one thing about hooks are in frame and then out of frame. In frame, check this out. Check this out. Back in frame. So that moment, that small little moment where it's in frame, out of frame, back in frame, it gets to the straight line a lot quicker than straight punches. The punch that I'm worried about for Shakur getting hit with the most from Teo, and he's devastating with this punch.
Regis Pragra highlights Shakur Stevenson's clear superiority, both in mental approach and technical skill, when compared to Teofimo Lopez, noting that while Lopez possesses undeniable athleticism and raw talent, he often struggles with focus, consistency, and maintaining the right mindset under intense pressure, whereas Stevenson's calm composure, strategic thinking, and pinpoint precision give him a decisive edge, especially in anticipating opponents' moves and adjusting tactics mid-fight. And Prager emphasizes that Lopez's natural gifts alone are unlikely to match Stevenson's disciplined approach, which seamlessly blends tactical intelligence with physical prowess, stressing that mental toughness often outweighs brute strength, making Stevenson the more reliable and prepared fighter in this high-stakes matchup, and ultimately frames Stevenson as the competitor with a clearer game plan, superior awareness, and unwavering consistency, explaining why, in both mind and skill, the balance unmistakably tips in Stevenson's favor.
After that, I feel like, Shakur is probably going to start stepping up, and Tia's going to try to hit him, and it's not going to work. And then Shakur might start. The thing about Shakur is a very good, a real good counterpuncher, really sharp, real sharp with the counterpunch. He sneaks those punches in, and that's the ones that hurt the most, when he just sneaking them in when you're not supposed to hit him. So I definitely feel like, I feel like Shakur is going to beat him comfortably. Now, not knockout, but comfortable 12 rounds for sure.
Have you sparred Lopez before?
I never sparred Tio, though. Never sparred Tio.
Teofimo Lopez and Shakur Stevenson, that definitely makes sense. Who do you think is going to win that fight?
I got Shakur for sure. Shakur.
Do you think he wins this comfortably, or do you think it'll be a close fight?
I think he wins it comfortably, yeah. I think he wins it comfortably. I think, Shakur, I think the thing is about Tio is very good athletically, but he's weak-minded. You can see in some fights he's struggling. Tio does struggle. Now he does come up for big fights. Lomachenko, he came up. Josh Taylor, he came up. But a lot of fights, man, he struggles. And, he does struggle on a whole lot of fights and stuff. Like, I think he looked good. Yeah, he looked good against Barboza. But like I said, for the most part, Tio does struggle. And I think he struggles mentally with a lot of things. But I think with Shakur, Shakur's going to break him. I think maybe the first two or three rounds, it might be a close fight. It might be close.
Malik Scott breaks down the looming showdown between Teofimo Lopez and Shakur Stevenson, diving into how each fighter's strengths could shape the fight, pointing to Lopez's lightning-quick reflexes and raw athleticism as tools that make him explosive and unpredictable inside the ring. Yet he stresses that speed and physical gifts alone aren't enough against a technically gifted and strategically sharp opponent like Stevenson, whose ability to read his adversary, control the rhythm, and exploit even the smallest openings can neutralize Lopez's advantages. And Scott further emphasizes that fight intelligence, timing, and split-second decision-making often outweigh pure athleticism, highlighting Stevenson's precision, methodical execution, and calculated edge, while noting that for Lopez to triumph, he would need far more than natural talent, making the matchup a perfect illustration of how raw skill must always meet strategy, focus, and mental acuity to achieve true success in the ring.
Like TV friendly, because it depends on, which either guy, what game they come with. Concerning is Shakur going to use nothing but his legs? Is Tio going to do just enough, because Shakur may offset him a bit and give him a look that he never seen before? I have Shakur winning. I think Tio, concerning explosiveness, he get it. Rapid speed, he get it. But I think when it comes to the craft and fundamentals, you have to go with Shakur. To me, he's a lot more seasoned. And plus, I just believe Teofimo, he makes mistakes to me you just can't make when you're fighting Shakur.
Like what?
You can't be overcommitting. You can't approach his offense range with your lead hand down, especially since Shakur is a southpaw. Because that means if you're orthodox and you're approaching Shakur with your lead hand down, you're actually closer to his jab hand. And we all know Shakur got one of the best jabs, especially from a southpaw standpoint. But it's going to be a good fight. The card is incredible by itself. You know what I mean? We already know how the card is. We got Keyshawn on it, Jarrell Miller on it, Shushu Carrington. So, it's a great card, but I'm going with Shakur for the win.
Okay, with that being said, then what does Tio got to do to win?
He has to get Shakur up. How would I say this? I don't want to just make it seem like come across as if Shakur is novice. But the times that Shakur is putting himself against the ropes, this is the time that Teofimo is going to have to depend on his explosiveness. He's going to have to depend on his offset lead right hands. He's going to have, but even doing that, everything with Teo comes off his front foot, his explosiveness, his speed, everything. So it's almost like whenever the times he get Shakur up against the rope, he got to pick his shots well, but then after that, he have to be ready to defend, because with Shakur, the return...
Teddy Atlas steps forward to defend both Shakur Stevenson and Teofimo Lopez against the criticism that has shadowed their careers, stressing that public perception often misses the depth of each fighter's dedication, talent, and achievements, explaining that both have faced moments of misunderstanding or unfair judgment, and he underscores the importance of recognizing their skill, discipline, and relentless work ethic, highlighting Stevenson's sharp strategic mind and calm composure alongside Lopez's raw athleticism and instinctive fight sense, while pointing out how outside voices often overlook the mental battles, meticulous preparation, and split-second decisions that define a fighter's performance, ultimately urging fans and critics alike to see the full story, appreciate the layers of each athlete's journey, and value their unique contributions to the sport rather than fixating on isolated moments or fleeting reputations.
Teofimo at certain spots, he's avoiding this guy, he's avoiding that guy. You can't take those shots at these two guys. Definitely can't now. They are stepping up, and they are taking fights that a lot of people are probably surprised they took. Now, a lot of people will say style-wise, Teddy, style-wise, is this going to be a great fight? I don't know if it will. I mean, style-wise, I could see you having a little reservations, whether or not these guys will make for dynamite, they will make, for electricity. I don't know if they will, but I tell you what they will make for. Two skillful fighters, two talented fighters, two fighters that are at a high skill level that will compete. I mean, Shakur showed aggression in his last fight against Cepeda, being elusive while being aggressive, walking them down, fighting on the inside, boxing well, still being able to counter, still being able to control space, but also be able to go into tight quarters and not be afraid to show that he's good on the inside too, that he can make you miss and make you pay outside and inside. Shakur showed that. That was great. That was great, and people applaud him. I applaud him. We were sitting there ringside. I was sitting there actually with your sister, ringside, watching that fight, and it was a terrific performance. Shakur showing that dimension, showing that attitude, showing that competitiveness, showing that dog like people like to show or like to talk about, and they wanted to see.
Jermaine Ortiz offers a thoughtful look at the upcoming clash between Shakur Stevenson and Teofimo Lopez, shining a light on Stevenson's growth as a fighter, emphasizing that Shakur has absorbed lessons from past battles and won't repeat the same mistakes, recalling how in earlier matches he sometimes fought with unchecked aggression, leaving gaps for opponents to exploit, and Ortiz explains that this time, Stevenson will bring a far more disciplined approach, carefully managing distance, timing, and positioning to strike with maximum impact while keeping risk to a minimum, showing a fighter who has evolved and learned how to turn experience into precision inside the ring.
A glimpse or two.
Why?
And one, Shakur said it himself after that fight that he wasn't going to fight like that again. And that's the main reason. He said he wasn't going to do it. And
Teo's cracking like that?
To 140, which is really... Huh?
Is Teo cracking?
No, I don't think. I think he had more of a threat with Cepeda as a puncher than Teofimo. But he's going up a weight class. That's not actually his weight class as well.
You think that'll play a factor?
No, that would play a factor in him not fighting in the pocket how he did.
He notes that Stevenson's ability to read his opponent and adjust mid-fight has grown tremendously, transforming him into a smarter, more formidable presence in the ring, and Ortiz emphasizes that this strategic evolution stems from Shakur's relentless dedication to honing his craft, studying every opponent, and applying lessons drawn from both victories and setbacks, explaining that this newfound maturity lets Stevenson stay composed under pressure, deliver precise counters, and steer clear of unnecessary exchanges,
moving around,
ultimately giving him a decisive edge over
out.
Lopez if he executes
Doing
these
things that
principles
Teo
with
don't
the
like.
focus and discipline he has developed.
He got longer arms, you know. I think he'll just keep him. He'll keep him at bay. You know, Teo's a tricky fighter too, so I'm not saying that he can't, you know, slip in and catch him with a couple shots. But Shakur, I think he's gonna be defensively sound. He doesn't like getting hit, and I think he's gonna stick to that.
You know, as far as Shakur is concerned and Teo, when you look at the speed, when you look at the timing, who do you feel like has that edge when it comes down to that? It could be separate. It could be somebody got the speed and somebody else got the timing. But when you look at those...
That's it for today's video. Stay tuned, because the story doesn't end here, and the next chapter promises even more drama, insight, and unforgettable moments.